helpful as a teacher or someone trying to be a teacher, because being able to watch you like that just really gives me such great insight into how I can really help you and all the amazing things that you're doing. I mean, I thought that I was a great student. You blow me out of the water. Like, you're like perfect, like prime student. So this is really good for these to be the videos to be putting up. But like Steven kept just being like, he's like, wow, how did she remember that? And I'm like, Steven, she graduated with like, I think, what was it, like a 3.6 or whatever from like Stanford University in like 3 years. I'm like, she's my sister, so I forget that she's a genius, but I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. She's a total genius. So you're going to learn so fast. Caroline, your voice is, if you keep doing this, you're going to move at like lightning speed.
Wow.
So, okay, first things first. After watching your amazing videos, you have so much. Can you see me okay?
Yeah.
So much that's so astounding that you're doing. Keeping the space open. You're remembering to keep your tongue behind your teeth. You pop your space right back open, which is so great. You're really trying to work on using the diaphragm. Even like how you pronounce the syllables, but you're not focusing on trying to sound out the can't remember what they're called. The consonants, you're more focused on keeping the space open, which is great. Next thing I'd like you to really start working on now is changing up the breathing just a little bit. And it's so great because I went through this process, and watching you, I see how all students, probably most students, fall into these same, we all go through the same process. And so watching you, it made me remember, oh, when he used to tell me to change my breathing up, that's what he meant. And now I can see it happening with someone else. So I'm going to show you a little bit. Steven, do you mind changing the camera a little bit? I think we only have like 20 minutes before my iPad dies, so let's see what we can do. But I want to, let's go this way. Thank you. You're the best. Okay.
Hold on.
We're waiting for the camera. This is great. Caroline, you really, really inspired me to start getting this up on YouTube, and your work is astounding, and what you're doing, it's a really, I'm just blown away that you remembered it all, since I forgot to send you the assignment video.
I feel like it's the Lord, and I feel like He's brought us together for this collaboration.
I can tell.
He's kind of made me good at like putting flesh to the skeleton. Do you know what I mean? Like there's a framework, but He helps me like flesh things out.
Yeah. Yes. Good? Okay. So, immediately what I saw from your video, and it was like having flashbacks to how I used to breathe in the very beginning process, and now that I can have, you're going to have someone who just went through this process, and I'm going to help you like cut it in half, the time in half. So
Awesome.
I want you to hear the difference between this. You're doing great with the mouth open. Okay, but before I talk about breathing, first I'm going to talk about this. I want to show you the difference between this and this.
Steven, I see it. Steven's
So,
face.
my first opera teacher from USC, she showed me the cover of a magazine about an opera singer, and the opera singer was singing a really high note. Hi! Was singing a really high note, and there's a joke among the opera community, and it's called the bunny face. I want you to start practicing your bunny face and get really used to snarling and raising your face up, because the sound that you want to eventually achieve, that feeling that you want to achieve, will occur from lifting rather than dropping.
Oh.
Does that make sense? So we're looking more for something like this. rather than Ave Maria. You want to take as much pressure off of this lower part and put it up here in here. I guess this is your mask, right? So lifting your face will help lift the sound up. So I want more of this, and you could even, eventually it will become more natural because it looks straight hideous now. But eventually you kind of find more of like a natural, little bit of a snarl, but there's also a bit of a smile. Ave Maria. So you see how I still have that snarl kind of going on, but it's a little more natural and sweet looking rather than... But the only way that my face was able to find that natural state was from me just walking around all day, looking in the mirror, doing this, because I'm just trying to get these muscles used to this lift. It'll make your smile prettier and more natural too. These are your same smile muscles, so you're really just exercising your smile muscles.
Okay.
So I want you to start doing that more. That's great. You already have a better looking opera face than I do. So you're just gonna keep working on this.
The opera monster.
The opera monster. Okay, so that's number one. And I promise you this time, today, I will create a video and I will send it to you. So I'll hold up my side of the bargain with that. Okay, so that's number one, is the opera face. Number two, actually, if you have a chance, if you could write that down and text it to me so that I could remember what, okay, yeah.
Do you know anything about the anatomy right here, like what that's doing? Is it like a sound box in here that makes the sound come up in here? Does it help with more resonance?
Steven?
Yeah.
What do you know about the anatomy of the face and the nose, of why it makes sense to lift? Why lifting helps propel the sound? Yeah.
It raises the soft palate. I call it the laughing muscle, remember?
Yeah, that's what I call it.
When
So
you connect here, it activates here.
it raises the soft palate. Which creates more space up here.
Well, I can definitely tell it takes pressure off of here.
But also because it's like a laugh, like a cry. Like you can't smile without engaging. You can't laugh without engaging the lower part. So every time you laugh, it's hard to. You can't laugh without smiling.
Okay, I want you to experiment. I want you to keep your mouth kind of closed.
Okay.
And just kind of breathe in, but through your mouth, but just kind of breathe in. But now I want you to really smile.
Smile.
And now I want you to breathe in that way, same way again.
Okay, and then do the bunny face.
Do the bunny face and breathe in again through your mouth.
I feel like it's like my lungs automatically taking more air
Yes.
on their own.
Yes.
So does that kind of trigger a
I'm not
reflex?
sure. I think it might trigger the same because it's like you're laughing. Stephen calls these your laughing muscles, and you can't laugh without having to take in a ton of air.
Okay. So it's like maybe there's a reflex. I'm just writing this note down for later. Maybe we can research and find a doctor.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
Okay, so that's number one. Number two, I'm going to help change your breathing for you. So you're doing a great job. You're breathing in with your mouth open, but I want you to hear the difference between this as opposed to Did you notice that there was no sound the second time?
Yeah, how come?
Because you when you've been breathing, and it's the same pitfall that I fell into in the beginning. When we first start learning to incorporate the diaphragm and keep our mouth open, for some reason we want to suck in air, so it's like a, but that's actually making the air rub up against your vocal cords. That's what that sound is, and you don't want that. So it's not about sucking in air. We're not trying to go. We're actually just trying to allow the air to just spill in. So
you're engaging the diaphragm and the lungs to do the work.
So, yes. But when you breathe in, I want you to understand the difference between allowing the air to... Okay, so you know how we're trying to let the sound come out up high by doing this? We don't want the air to come in high. We want the air to come in low. So instead of the air cut, you could feel it. When you breathe air in, I don't want you to feel the cold air on the roof of your mouth. I want you rather to just feel it spilling in. Is that right, Stephen?
Good way to think about it.
Okay, because I want you to breathe is this still going? Yeah. I want you to still breathe the way that you were breathing before, and I want you to see if you can feel the cold air on the roof of your mouth.
Yeah, I feel it.
Okay, now I want you instead of sucking in, I want you to kind of slowly allow the air to kind of just stream in like a stream, just flowing down your tongue, low, on your tongue, down your tongue, and not have that cold air on the roof of your mouth. Instead, I want you to automatically feel the air like on the back of your throat, like in your tongue.
Okay, so this reminds me of last year when Stephen would do like the expansion of the diaphragm, just kind of like focusing more on the chest.
Uh-huh.
And you said like fill the rib cage, or you say fill the space, right?
Uh-huh.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Fill space. Okay.
So instead of this breath sucking in, I don't want you to feel like I don't want you to think that like the beginning, instead of this being the instigator, so listen to this. That's being the instigator. Instead, I want this to be the instigator.
Okay.
So
I'm writing this down. Okay, so we try. Okay. I don't know. It's weird. How do you separate that?
exactly. That's closer.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can see the difference.
Why don't you like try to do like a yawn?
That's easy, okay? I need a nap.
Do you notice how the yawn makes this expand?
Yeah.
You feel it's like as if that's pulling the air in.
So you're saying like don't gasp in air through the throat. Focus on consciously expanding the diaphragm to fill.
Yeah, and imagining a stream of air just kind of just flow. You don't have to suck it in. You just open your mouth and it spills in.
So get the mouth in position and then let the air spill in.
Uh-huh.
Did he leave, Lily? We're getting our toilet fixed out.
Ah.
Did he leave? Because I still need to look at the bathtub. Our bathtub has a crack in it, and it leaked down to our downstairs neighbor.
Oh my gosh.
This is last week, craziness.
Crazy.
Now the dishwasher got swapped out, but it's leaking too, so I'm like, okay.
Alrighty. Sorry.
Crazy town.
Very sorry.
That feels a lot better. I don't feel like I'm like,
Uh-huh.
like,
It's all about it being